Ever wondered how to make the perfect chocolate chip cookies at home? The sweet aroma wafting through the house, the warm, gooey bites melting in your mouth, and the satisfaction of knowing you've baked them yourself. It's an experience like no other. From choosing the right ingredients to mastering the art of mixing and baking, we're about to embark on a delightful culinary journey. So, roll up your sleeves and prepare your taste buds. Get ready to impress your friends and family with the best chocolate chip cookies they've ever tasted. First, gather all your ingredients. To make these heavenly chocolate chip cookies, we're going to need some essentials. Start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, the backbone of our cookies. Then, we'll need 1 teaspoon of baking soda to give our cookies that perfect rise. A half teaspoon of salt will balance the sweetness. For sweetness, we'll need 1 cup of packed brown sugar and a half cup of granulated sugar. The sugars will not only sweeten, but also add moisture to our cookies. Next up, we have our fats. We'll be using 2 sticks of unsalted butter, softened to room temperature. It's essential to use high-quality butter as it greatly impacts the flavor. We'll also need 2 large eggs, and of course 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And let's not forget the star of the show, 2 cups of chocolate chips. Always use fresh ingredients for the best results. Now that we have all our ingredients ready, it's time to start baking. Now, it's time to mix the dough. The magic begins when you start combining the ingredients. Let's start with those dry ones. You'll want to mix your flour, baking soda, and salt together in a bowl. The reason we mix these first is to ensure that the baking soda and salt are evenly distributed throughout the flour. This step is crucial because it guarantees that each cookie will rise evenly and have the same flavor. Next, it's time to cream the butter, white sugar, and brown sugar together in a separate bowl. Creaming is a baking term that means to beat these ingredients together until they're light and fluffy. This process helps to incorporate air into the mixture, giving our cookies a wonderfully tender texture. Now, onto the eggs and vanilla extract. These are added into the cream mixture one at a time, making sure each is fully incorporated before adding the next. The eggs provide structure and moisture, while the vanilla extract adds a touch of sweetness and aroma that's unmistakably cookie-like. Lastly, gradually combine the dry and wet mixtures. The key here is to add the dry ingredients in batches, mixing just until combined each time. This prevents over-mixing, which can result in tough cookies. We want ours to be soft and chewy, right? Once your dough is mixed, it's time to add the most important ingredient, the chocolate chips. And remember, the more the merrier. The chocolatey morsels are what make these ordinary cookies into extraordinary ones. With our dough ready, it's time to bake these delicious cookies. Now, the secret to getting the perfect shape and size for your cookies is portioning the dough correctly. You'll want to scoop out equal amounts of dough for each cookie. A good tip is to use an ice cream scoop or a tablespoon measure. This will ensure all your cookies are uniform in size and bake evenly. Once you've portioned your dough, arrange the dough balls on your baking sheet, giving each enough room to spread out as it bakes. A good rule of thumb is to leave about 2 inches of space between each cookie. Now let's talk about the baking temperature. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the sweet spot for baking chocolate chip cookies. It's hot enough to make them crispy on the outside, but not so hot that they burn before the inside can get nice and chewy. Once your oven is heated, pop your cookies in and set a timer. They'll need about 10 to 12 minutes in the oven. But don't rely solely on the timer. Keep an eye on your cookies. When they're golden around the edges but still soft in the middle, that's when you know they're done. Remember, cookies continue to cook a bit after you take them out of the oven, so don't worry if they seem a little underdone. They'll firm up as they cool. And there you have it, perfect homemade chocolate chip cookies. Enjoy. Now the best part, enjoying your homemade cookies. We hope you're as thrilled with the results as we are. Remember, baking is a journey, not a destination. So, go ahead and leave a note in the comments about your cookie baking adventure. Did you add a pinch of cinnamon? Or maybe white chocolate chips instead of the classic semi-sweet? We'd love to hear your unique twists. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more delicious recipes. Happy baking!